Hey folks, welcome back to Trusted Unbarred Gaming for another short video from the last Caretaker. Today we're going to be doing a weapon and ammo test. For this video, we're going to be using the sharks as our test subjects. We're primarily going to be using the rifle. Which is the bolt rifle. We're going to be using trace rounds. We're going to be using some of these tri rounds, they call them, for short-circuiting electronical non-living targets. And we're going to be using the regular rifle slam rounds. And then later we will also test out the electronic rifle. And see how it does. Obviously it's going to be calculated a little differently because you have to charge it for heavy shots, but we'll see how it does and see which one of these rounds is better for shooting sharks. Alright, so we have our second subject. We're going to be using the tri rounds, which are short circuit rounds for electronics. Those were hits. Alright, going to our third mag. Alright, so 25 rounds into our third mag. Alright, and we have our third test subject, and we're going to be using the slam rounds. We can get good hits on him. Sometimes this railing can be a pain in the ass. Third mag. Alright, on our fourth mag. Going on our fifth mag. There we go. So that was probably one extra after the shot. So we'll say 5 rounds into our 5th mag. When I'm editing it, I'll go back and double check the count, make sure I had it right. Alright, so we have the electronic rifle. Full charge is a count of 10. It's plugged into the backpack. There's one. We want to try to make sure we get good clean hits. There's 2. Alright, so 3 full charges, which would be considered 30 shots. 10 for each full charge. And it was plugged into the backpack. If it's not plugged in, it's not as effective. I tried it with it not being plugged in, and actually had to recharge the rifle because I emptied it to knock the shark down. So again, it's not a scientific study, just to give you an idea. If you can get close to the sharks and can have time to hold down a full charge, do that 3 times with it plugged into a backpack or into the ship, and it will knock them down. Sharks are a little bit harder to get the full hits on because of the water and their movement. Obviously the roller balls are a little bit easier to hit because they stop to shoot at you. But as far as ammunition for the rifle, we had the tri-rounds, which again are going to be these for short-circuiting non-living targets. And we did 2 mags plus 25 rounds for a total of 85 rounds. We had the tracer rounds at 90 rounds and the slam rounds at 4 mags plus 5 for 125 rounds. So the tracer rounds are 5 better. I'm sorry, the tri-rounds are 5 better than the tracer and much better than the slam rounds. And if we go down to, went the long way around, but come down here, we'll look at what goes into it. So for these tri-rounds, you do have to have aluminum, iron, and plastic. For the tracers, you need aluminum, copper, and iron. And the slam, you just need iron and copper, which are 2 of the most common. Aluminum's not as common for these other 2. And then of course, if you're going to use a sniper, it requires titanium for both the sniper rods and the lugs. Now obviously it doesn't take as many shots with the sniper, but you're burning titanium every time you pull the trigger. So it's just something to think about. I didn't think the tri-rounds were that effective, but it could depend on the amount of hits you get. Obviously there's going to be some discrepancy on, did all rounds make contact, especially at distance. But generally when you hear the thud, that means your rounds are on target. We thought we'd just show this real quick to give you an idea when you're making rounds, what's effective for you. Obviously once you shoot them, they're going to come at the boat, and every time you hit them, they're going to keep coming back to the boat. So it just depends on how many resources you want to tie up into it. But we appreciate you watching. Thanks to all those that are liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.